This is January 15th, 2026, price action review. And this is just for me to speak my thoughts out loud and to go back and rewatch what I was thinking at the time of the trades. So let's get into it. So I kind of I'd love to start on the daily, but I can't find the market open on the daily. So 15 minutes and then I kind of look at where I am. So where are we? We sold off yesterday, took some lows, kind of kept that low intact. Could be pushing higher. Still want to see higher, especially from all that. So looking for targets even. Have we taken any of these? We haven't. Oh, that'll be spicy target to to aim for. Ooh, 3 equal highs. We could probably take that. I mean, we've just been straight up. So we could low-key rebalance the rebalance. Maybe even from here. Not standard deviation. Boom. Could possibly see us pull back and then go higher. I do like going for all-time highs, but let's get into it. Reset chart. Okay, we are at 9:15 candle. Okay, so we swept that, pulling back to discount or to take that low. Discount, turtle soup, CISD. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we hit that. That is pre-market. So that is very interesting because usually we like to wait and leave that for market open. Okay, so we're just kind of pushing through 928, 929. Okay, next candle 930. Could see this is the manipulation leg to send us way lower. I like that. I think for the true manipulation to close below there, but I like breaking through these levels as a start. Okay, market opened, dumped, kind of pushed back up, big wick. Okay, so we swept that. We came back to discount. Now we could see big closure below that and just keep dumping. Because my guess is we opened low and then kind of pushed high on that one. But no, we want to continue to sit around EQ. Okay, swept. Is that right? Yeah, swept there, turtle soup there, and then close below there. That's not a CISD, that's turtle soup. Finally completed the CISD. And so now I'd low-key like to see us just dump, run some lows. That's kind of far from there. But if we think about this being the manipulation leg, yeah, it sends us down. So boom, boom, dumped. Ooh, that's a good boom. Retrace to 50% of this order block. OTE are almost retrace. I have to count that wick. Boom. Okay. Like that we're closing below here. Wicks. Yeah. Past couple of days we've had some big candles and big wicks. So I'm not really worried if this hadn't been regularly happening. Might be a little suspicious. But then where's EQ of? I kind of say this is the range we are currently in. Okay, we just tapped EQ of that and that. So that could have been easily taken off partials, somewhere in here. And so I'd love to see us hit this low. Granted, we don't have to push it higher. We could pull here, soup, boom, CISD, change, run it, ties. What is it, Thursday? Could see that, soup that, first for value gap, holding that. I'd still like to see us lower. Okay, big wicks. We did sweep that now. I'm just going to mark out some over here. How are we doing on time? I want to speed this up. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yep. I want these to be like 8 minutes, so then it's not as crazy to go back through them. So boom, swipe that. So I could see us go higher now, or not, or dump. Still dumping it, still bearish. Souped. Boom, soup. Right before the macro. So this could just be a retrace. Yep, could just be a retrace in this range, holding that because he closed close below here for another change in the state. Or could have souped there, push back up, pull back to discount, soup that candle to then have a change in the state there to push it higher and take the high again. Just an idea for both sides of the market. Okay, we pushed up. We're not sweeping anything. And so this is basically, if you think about this whole area, worst place for shorts is down here, but it's the best spot for longs, right? So even if I don't think longs are the true move, getting an entry down here for some longs to ride it up at least a little bit to a better spot for shorts, not a bad idea. Or it can continue to rip and take the high and you're in from super down here, super low. And so boom, looks like that was kind of the case in this where we pushed down, boom, took out this low, pushed back up, pushed back to discount, souped it, and then changed in the state, and then looks like we're probably going to take this candle wick. Okay, boom. See, look. Got that. And then see how we closed at these wicks. I don't like seeing us close at these wicks without what did I just delete? Okay, there we go. Boom, boom. So then that gives us the notion that could possibly be going lower from that. But then we took the high. Boom. That would have been an insane trade if you're in from like down here. And if you're, I'm just kind of annotating these as possible trade ideas as boom, CISD, change the state, boom, or total soup CISD, and then possible longs from down here. Because even if you're wrong from here, okay, we have a wick and we have discount a little bit higher, so you can ride that up a little bit and trail your stop pretty quickly. But now we souped that high. Now we're kind of just sitting almost an EQ of the range where we took in both sides. Yeah, basically there. So now it's probably going to start to chop at least a little bit and then make another move. Don't really like any of these. We have a soup up here and then change in the state there. And then, but we did soup these lows. And so now, so this is the thing, if you take total soup CSD or any CSD entry here, yeah, you could get in here, but we just swept these. So now you got to be careful of this high coming back and getting swept. So, or not. Some crazy, crazy action going on. Past couple days have been kind of crazy as well. Hold on 1 second. I'm back. I was lied to. There's nobody at the door. I'm hearing ghosts. So boom. But then back here, what is this? We took a high. Okay, this is the worst place for longs up here, but it's the best place for shorts. And so boom, we see what we want to see. Possibly swooping that there. Okay, boom. Change state. Looks like we probably are going to come down and take that low. Yep, took that low. Just souping the low. So possible pullback, retrace the discount. Where's the 11 o'clock candle? Ooh, we still got a bunch of price to go through. Boom. Still not closing below. Souped that candle. Possible retrace to discount of this. To then send it lower. Or not. That's kind of crazy. Looks like the notion of this, we're just gonna go up and now we're just gonna range. So now it's like we swept that there. Boom, kind of holding this order block, right? Not closing basically deep into it, so could push it lower again. Yep. But none of this I like to take entries on the 1 minute. Maybe 30-second or 15-second. Looks good, but boom, another soup. And I mean, there's probably a change in state somewhere there. So now we're looking possibly taking this low again. I mean, we've taken the low there. Okay, push back up, taking the low there. So third drive and then rip it. Or this is just fair swing for longs. Yep. Boom. Boom. We're kind of tightening up. So then this candle comes out and takes all those. And so now I'm looking to take these wicks down here. Or to take this one more time. Okay, we took that low. Okay, that's the only low that we really needed to. Boom, swipe some more. Closing above that body. And now I want to see possibly higher to take out that wick. Completely invalidated my idea for longs there. And that's completely good for shorts. And the fact that boom, close below, but we are wicking that. So now you got to be careful of us going higher. Pulling back the discount of this. Soup it and send it down. Be good. Or we continue to push it higher. Why did it place there? Boom, change the state. I don't know, do we soup that? Probably not, but that candle does soup it there. And so this is where if you're, we did kind of change above, but that's where if you're entering on a change of the state and you soup it, you got to be careful of this pullback down. So where's this? This is if we believe the draw is higher, which, I mean, that manipulation leg, but then we took it again, push down. That doesn't look like the top, so we could be going higher still. This is the best place for longs, right in here. So if you believe that this is the bottom, this is the best spot, take longs. And boom, change the state. That soup got invalidated. We souped it again. Good change in the state. And now we should hopefully push it higher. Soup that. Okay, now we got to be careful of that wick and take nope. It's a wick fest, dealing damage. Okay, pull it back. Gosh, damn. Nope. Okay, so then we swept all of that. Now we're closing below that. And so I'm still thinking about possible longs here, but now that we've souped those highs and then closed lower, this could just be another failure swing to push it higher again, but that's just an idea. Okay, we are consolidating like hell. Swept it again. Gosh, it is a soup party up here. Okay. Getting closure below there without souping that candle, so that's kind of good. Now we want to continue to push it higher. Okay, boom. Now this is pretty much confirmation. We swept that, so now this is where you see how this was really clean, really clear action, and then we start chopping, and it's no longer clean action, and you see how there's so much on both sides. This is kind of where you could take a step back and say, hey, if you've already made money here, I mean, this stuff really right here, none of this looks super clear, super clean, especially when, okay, where's the draw really? Could be a good indicator to kind of stay out on that. So see this pullback or do whatever that is. Push it higher or push it lower. And so then that kind of invalidates all of this notion here. And the fact that, okay, we accumulated possibly, we manipulated, and then possible distribution down to take the low again, but we're souping this. So what do we have to be careful of? We have to be careful of pushing back up to discount. Or us wanting to take that high one more time to then send it lower. Boom. I mean, we did that even with this big wick, basically to the tick. So and that's why if you're entering right here off the change in the state, you got to know where your stop's got to be. Like possibly high this candle, but usually, I mean, high of that. Most of the time, the candle wick's not that big, but you got to know that you could come back here, but not every time. So we're getting closure lower. We are sweeping some more but okay. We swap some more. Now what are we gonna do? Push it back hard. Alrighty. Boom, swap that high. Could see, okay. That is the world's smallest candle body. Cool. Push higher, we swap that high. Nope, we want to go higher now. That's some crazy, crazy action. I bet like the 3 minute looks ridiculous. That is crazy in that. Okay. So then what are we looking for target's price? Possibly that wick. Yep. Boom. Got that. And then now what? Okay, we're kind of stalling. We're not getting a closure, a little bit of closure above. Took that wick again though. Now we slam it down. There's possibly a change in the state there. Boom. Okay, so we sweep it there, sweeping it in here. Holding this kind of accumulation over here. Now what is this? Now this is kind of not super bad if you still think longs are the move, but shorts obviously look a little bit better in this aspect. Boom. Kind of push it back up to discount again, right? And then looks like we kind of want to sell off. Not really sweeping much here. Yep. Boom. Dump that. We held that. And so now we're getting closure inside this range. Now it should just melt, but we did sweep. Sweep this. So might want to be a little careful of that. But okay, now no, we're heavy. We're really heavy. Really heavy. So now, do we sweep that? Maybe by like a tick? Yeah, that was still a wick. But this is deep premium, so it doesn't really matter, and we just melt. And so now, looking for possible TPs of what here? You kind of already pushed through that. But then this is another macro opening up, so the macro should kind of spool. Boom. Okay, but we swept that side, we swept both sides of it. But it looks like we're still kind of heavy, so possibly still pushing it down to take more. But what? I mean, this could have been take profit. There's lots of levels. This whole equal lows down here could take profit areas. And so now this is deep and premium, so it doesn't really matter for you. If you're in from up here, this shouldn't matter. You just got to set your TPs, your partial TPs, and then just walk away from the chart. Boom. So where's 11? I'm just going to fast forward it to 11. As we start distributing up, damn. So we took the low back here. Took the low on that candle. Boom. Then we pushed it back up to change this. Change the state. Okay. Swap some of these. Boom. Pull back. CIST retest here. Not sweeping that. So that's why we want to see us kind of distribute a little bit higher. We did pull back super far. Stopped out a lot of people going long here, I bet. Kind of swept that. My guess is, yep, to kind of push it higher. Big wick, pushed it back to this kind of this range. And then it's 11 o'clock and we just kind of pushed it all the way back up. Which is kind of crazy. But that's kind of, my notion behind things. I think possible entries, possible trades based on, what I saw. I mean, changing the state from there, kind of like that, 1030, took that high, boom. Longs, I mean, obviously, if you're trading this long, probably got chopped up in longs here somewhere. But I mean, two great trades at the start of the market, and so would have been nice data to bank some money on. So